Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. And today we are reacting to the Five Nights at Freddy lores explained in 15 minutes. I hate horror movies and games, always have, probably always will, so I never really know the lore or anything like that. I know a little bit of it, like it's about a guy that killed some kids and now they're demons. That's pretty much all I know. But yeah, let's just jump straight in. The original video will be in the link in the description, and let's just see what it's all about.
Buckle up because here we go. Our story starts in the late 1970s to early 1980s with two men, William Afton and Henry Emily. Together, they founded Fredbear's Family Diner, a small pizzeria featuring two animatronic mascots, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Now, these weren't just robots. They were spring-lock technology.
That's interesting. Why would you want that? Why would you... If they're not just robots.
Allowing them to function as both an animatronic and a wearable suit.
That seems like a terrible idea. So I get the robot Chuck E. Cheese thing, but if it's a robot, why would you want a human in there? That could really just... That seems like a terrible idea, I'm gonna be honest.
We know now this was a terrible idea. These suits were fragile. One wrong move and the lock snapped shut.
Okay, how did the FDA approve this? Or not FDA, that's the Food Drug Administration. How did someone... I swear they needed, like, government approving. Who approved this? And why?
Anything or anyone inside. And they weren't the only danger lurking in this place. One night, Henry Emily's daughter, Charlotte, aka Charlie, was locked outside the pizzeria. And in the darkness, William Afton was waiting. You see, he was a killer. And that's exactly what he did.
So he just killed his partner's daughter? That seems like a terrible idea.
Killed her, just like that. But her story wasn't over, because Henry had built something inside the diner, a security animatronic called the Puppet. And that night, Charlie's soul merged with the Puppet, creating the first haunted animatronic.
Okay, so they're not demons. They're a mix of robot and host, I guess. First off, Henry Emily, I gotta talk to you. Why would you partner with this dude? Oh, what was his name? I forget his name. But why would you partner with a sociopath, psychopath? Nah, that's kind of on you. First off, ugh. Yeah, no, I don't like the story already, dude. Why would... Henry Emily needs to vet his partners.
This was just the beginning of Afton's horrific legacy. You see, the thing is, Afton grew more bold. At the newly established Freddy Fazbear's Pizza,
Why is he killing, though? I feel like... They own a diner. Maybe it wasn't successful, I don't know, but why is he going around killing people? And I get he was a killer, or he said he was a killer. Did he commit murders beforehand? I don't know. This is just weird to me, honestly.
Used a yellow Spring Bonnie suit to lure 5 children into the back room. One by one, he murdered them, leaving no trace, except for the blood stain soaking in the walls.
Yo, this is crazy work. But why, though? Like, I don't really see the reason.
Now, the past doesn't stay buried. Soon after the animatronics began acting strangely. That's because the children...
Maybe he was just a psychopath. I don't know.
...souls had possessed them. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. And the one who remained broken... Golden Freddy, the forever vengeful spirit. And in case you forgot, that's why he always says it's me. Now, shockingly enough...
Why is it forever broken, though? Maybe it was a broken... Maybe it was a broken robot or animatronic or whatever they said, and a child haunted it, and now it's just in a broken body.
Literally, this was William's plan from the entire time. He even made a compartment where children would fit perfectly inside these animatronic suits, hoping to kill them and hide all the evidence inside.
This dude's a psychopath. Why? Like, I really don't see what the benefit of this is.
Where no one would ever see it coming. However, thanks to the puppet, these children were able to live a new life. However, their spirits were going to be trapped inside of these things forever.
I think that's a worse life, not even gonna lie. That just seems like a terrible fate. Now you're in some robot and you kill people? Nah.
Makes you wonder, why would William even do such a thing? Didn't he have children of his own? Yes, he did. And this is where things get weird. While all this horror was unfolding, Afton had his own family. His youngest son, the crying child, aka Evan, was terrified of the animatronics, and for good reason. And his older brother, the one we call Michael Afton, or the kid with the Foxy mask, bullied him relentlessly.
What's wrong with this family? Why are you bullying your brother like that? Like, I get a little brother, like, beef. I have a brother, and we have some beef. But we don't have, like, crazy beef like that. Like, my brother never bullied me. Like, we just, have our spats like every sibling does. But, ugh, nah. This is not for me.
Scaring him with a foxy mask, and then one day, the nightmare became real. At his birthday, Michael and his friends took it too far. They forced him into Fredbear's jaws, laughing. But then,
Oh my gosh. I see where this is going because he said, what, liquid makes it snap?
animatronic spring locks failed, and then crushed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He looked like he was probably, what, 5th, 6th, even 7th grade. His dad literally made these things. His dad probably said, hey, kid, even though his dad's a psychopath, but I'm sure his dad wanted to protect his children. So I wouldn't have no doubt if his dad's like, oh, we have another spring lock guy that, he got cooked in the robot suit. So and then I'm sure the kid was like, oh, why'd that happen? Oh, because, he was drooling a bit. Oh, that's not good. I beef with the older brother. I forget his name, but I beef.
The ultimate prank. You just got your brother's head removed from his body. And this was known as
It's just a prank, bro. The prank.
the bite of 83. The boy didn't survive, obviously, but his torment, it never ended.
Wait, the bite of 83. I do know something called the bite of 87. I don't really know what it's about, but I've seen clips of Markiplier shouting, is that the bite of 87? I've seen those.
He was trapped in a never-ending nightmare, haunted by monstrous versions of the very thing that killed him.
Wait, so there were multiple bites?
Until he finally faded away. Thus, the nightmare animatronics in FNAF 4, but that's for later. Moving on with the story, with his son dead and the haunted animatronics growing restless, Afton tried to fight back. He returned to Freddy's to destroy the possessed robots, but as he laughed at his victory, he made one fatal mistake.
Why are you laughing at them? You killed them! That's on you, bro!
Decided for whatever reason to hide inside the spring Bonnie suit, thinking he had outsmarted the ghost, but the spring locks failed, and in an instant, his body was crushed inside of
Okay, first off, how would that even work, my guy? They are literally unkillable now, and you're trying to mock them in the suit you killed them in. That's just terrible logic.
Suit. And of course,
that just make me more mad. Like, this guy's trying to mock me? Mock me? Do you know what he did to me? Nah. Deserved, though. Deserved.
Became trapped inside, dying.
Should not have had that cup of water before you got in there. Should you have?
Yet unable to move on. And so, Springtrap was born. But let me tell you, this man is so crazy that he actually found a way to live on forever, or at least so he thought. When Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shuts down, William comes up with a great idea. He made a business called Afton Robotics, and this is all about killing children. Now the reason...
So this man, he had a successful business, unsuccessful, I'm not quite sure. But I'm pretty sure it was successful because... yeah, it just seemed successful. It's a kid's diner back in the 80s. Chuck E. Cheese was going crazy. So let's just say it was successful. He's living along, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to kill my partner's child. And then his son dies. Well, I don't know the timeline. It really didn't say, or I just wasn't listening. But either way, either his child died or Henry Emily's child died. Either way, it doesn't really matter whose child died first. This man was like, oh, my child died, so I'm going to take it away from my partner, the guy that has probably been through me for a while, who's helped me run this business. And then he dies. Well, actually, no. And then he opens this business because it said after it closed. He opens this business, and he's like, you know what? I have a great idea. And hear me out, investors. Hear me out. I know it's a little crazy. It's a little stupid. It's a little jumping the gun. However, we should kill kids. Oh, but why is that, sir? No follow-ups.
He wanted to kill the children is because they have remnant. Now, remnant is the term for physical manifestation of memory.
Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. There is a reason. There is a reason. I take that back.
Is infused with and possessing inanimate objects, making it a driving force behind the paranormal occurrences in the animatronics, besides the spirits themselves, aka He was going to kill kids, take the remnant, and then use it to live on forever. This
As one does, I guess.
is exactly how all the children and Charlie were able to possess an animatronic. And this man is so horrific that he decided to come up with Circus Baby, an animatronic specifically used to lure children in, with games, toys, and ice cream. And with no evidence at that, as she would literally crush them, suck them into her stomach, and they'll never be found again. Now, let me introduce...
How? Even how? It doesn't look that big. Look, this is your average size of a child. This is your average size of a circus baby. This is your average size of its stomach. It's a square. He cannot fit in that square. His head can. Well, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's not the real issue here. The real issue is, dude is so obsessed with living forever. He's like, you know what? Let's go kill kids. And he only learned about how he could do that by killing said kids. So my problem, my big problem is with this man. I have a lot of problems with him after knowing his story a little bit. But my biggest issue is, why did dude not try to work on that uploading yourself into a computer and thought his best route was, oh, I'm going to become a ghost forever. Because even if you live forever, let's say you live forever, how's that a life? You're trapped in a robot. Nah, miss me with that.
issue a new character, Elizabeth Afton, the daughter of William Afton and the sister of Michael Afton, and would have
So you had a daughter?
been Evan, but his head got ripped off, who trusted her father and held a deep fascination with these creatures, and especially Circus Baby, until the machine captured her and killed her, which allowed Elizabeth to possess it. And because of this,
This is all your dad's fault. No offense, Elizabeth. That is quite sad. But this is your dad. You should take him out. Because he's still around, right? They said he became like an animatronic ghost or something. I don't know. But my thing is, she needs to go run the ones with her dad. Because that's on him.
Circus Baby's Pizza World gets closed down, and they report it as gas leaks being the reason. But the only
Gas leaks. Yeah, totally, guy. No, it's because we were trying to kill a bunch of children. However, my daughter died. So, I guess we gotta move on. Because I made these ancient robots to kill things.
gas coming out of this place is the stench coming out of Elizabeth's body, reeking from Circus Baby. And this is where you would think all this would end. However, William decided to leave all the animatronics open for rental. And that's where the set of Sister Location takes place, as Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals. Now, you play as Michael Afton. Yes, William Afton's son,
Who would want to rent them? First off, it sounded like Michael retired, or... No, not Michael. The dad. Michael's this guy. But it sounded like he retired. He's like, you know what? I'm done with trying to open my murder restaurant. I'm just going to go live in Florida. So that's the thing. And why is he renting them out? Because who's going to look? Because I'm sure they include specs and everything, because any proper rental does. And they're going to look at this and be like, why is there a giant killing machine inside this Chuck E. Cheese bot?
Takes the job here for one reason, to find someone, but he doesn't realize he's walking into a trap just yet. The facility is home to 4 main animatronics, each one more terrifying than the last. Circus Baby, Allura, Funtime Freddy, equipped with Bonbon.
I will say, all of these look terrifying. This one looks alright though. This one looks alright. This is kind of terrifying. I don't even know what this is. And yeah, that's also terrifying. It already showed what it looked like. Nah. Miss me with that. But I like this one. This one has a little bow tie. I like the cut of its jib.
The hand puppet and Funtime Foxy. But the focus is on Circus Baby.
Well, I guess if these are new, this is the only ghost one, right? Because there's no kids inside them.
We know she's been taken over by someone we know, and that's Elizabeth Afton, obviously Michael's sister. And let's just say she has a plan. But Michael, he has no idea what's coming for him. Michael spends 5 nights trying to survive the horrors of the facility, guided by Baby's voice, but everything is a setup. On night 2, he's forced to fix Funtime.
To be fair, right, I'm sure a lot of people have love for this guy, Michael, and I know there's a lot more lore than just this video. However, deserved. Bro took out his brother, by just a prank, and then the prank in question. So at the end of the day, I don't know what happens to him, because it doesn't sound great, though. You're hanging out with a bunch of robots and your sister that probably wants to turn you into a robot. That's probably what she's going to do. That's going to be my guess, is she's going to try to turn them into a robot so they can be brother and sister forever.
Freddy while avoiding Bonbon's deadly jump
Yikes.
scare. Night 3, he sneaks past Ballora, staying silent so she doesn't hear him. And around night 4, that's when things
Oh my gosh, why do they look like that on the inside? No kid wants to play with that.
start to get really weird, as he literally wakes up inside of a spring-lock suit, trapped as many Renas try to kill him. Then finally, night 5, he reaches the scooping room, and that's when the truth is revealed.
What's a scooping room? And why does it not sound healthy?
You see, the scooping room is where broken animatronics are torn apart from the inside. But tonight, it's not for the animatronics. It's for Michael. All along, Baby had a plan.
What, they want to gut him out. That does not sound healthy. Because I don't even understand. They're turning him into a pumpkin. Why are they doing that? I kind of would understand if she tried to turn him into a robot, because you want to be with your brother forever. Like, you'll have a brother building back your family, or some sort of reason like that. But I can't understand why you're trying to scoop him out like a pumpkin.
To escape, but she couldn't do it alone. So she tricked Michael into coming here. Every animatronic in the facility had already been melted down and fused together into one monstrous being. And that was Ennard. And that's right, you guessed it, they needed a human body. So they scoop Michael's insides out and crawl inside of his skin.
Oh, well, I see that now. Oh, wow. Unlucky, Michael. But at the end of the day, you did put your brother's head inside a robot, so I can't really feel too bad for you.
Terrifying, right? And believe it or not, at first it worked. Ennard walked out disguised as Michael, but his body started to rot away.
So there just is no more Michael anymore. This is just Ennard. Literally. Think about that. It's funny. Because, he's Ennard. That's jokes. That's... He's Ennard. Get it? No? Okay, just me.
And the animatronic pieces had to escape. And so, Ennard decided to jump into the sewer like he was it.
Oh, that name's so funny now. Because it went Ennard. Get it? Oh, I'm sorry. I cracked myself up too much.
Leaving what was left of Michael's body rotting on the sidewalk.
There's just... Yo, unlucky, Michael. This is what you get for hanging around your father. He's a terrible man.
And yet, just as FNAF does, Michael somehow didn't die. He stood back up, and his skin was purple. His eyes were glowing.
Seems legit. He doesn't have any insides, but, he's still there. His innards went into the sewer. Get it? Innards? Sorry. I'm having way too much fun with this. But, Michael has no organs. He doesn't have any innards. But... he's still there. He's still a big purple man. And nobody's asking any questions. They're not going to be like, why is there a purple man standing there? There's obviously houses here. And I'm pretty sure we saw some people a second ago. But, they're like, oh, look, that's the local purple man, guys. Don't go near him.
And with one goal in mind, he muttered, "Father, I will find you." Because now, Michael Afton is going to be hunting his own father. Speaking of his father, whatever happened to him? Well, it's been 30 years since the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closed, and the urban legends, the ghost stories, they've become nothing more than...
So Michael Afton turned into Liam Neeson. He will find him, and he will kill him. If you ever see that movie, Liam Neeson, Taken, my favorite movie of all time, it has my favorite quote. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, go give it a watch. It's not one of these movies that, are boring for 2 hours to teach some life lesson, because nobody wants that. I don't want that. I want to watch entertainment, and I'm a genuine believer in that. Yes, there should be some movies that teach lessons, and if you like that type of stuff, go for it. But I hate when movies try to push some, secondary meaning into it or whatever, when I just want to have a good time, genuinely. You could have some themes, sure, but other than that, just don't be yapping.
But then, someone decided to turn those stories into a real-life horror attraction, thus for opening a place called Fazbear Frights. And you see, the idea was genius. Recreate the...
I'm sure it was very American. That's a very American thing to do. Turn a real tragedy into a horror house. Yep, typical Americans.
Terrifying mystery of Freddy's, and then use the old props and salvaged items for the abandoned location. But on night...
How'd you even get these? What, was there an auction? Murder weapons for sale, murder weapons for sale.
2, they found something really weird, something they should have left buried. Hidden inside of the restaurant, they discovered an old rotting animatronic suit. At first, it seemed like a great addition to the attraction, but they didn't realize there was something inside of it.
Okay, whoever made this horror house obviously did not have it cleared with any sort of an administration, and I'm not going to ask any questions because that's not what I'm here for. My real question is, you see something that kind of resembles a human, or at least a human skeleton, and not all metal, and it's rotting, it's gross looking, and it probably smells like a human body. You're like, it could be a human. It's definitely creepy looking. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put it in this house where we're going to have children walk through. Seems legit.
The animatronic suit wasn't just any relic, it was Springtrap, and inside it, William Afton himself. As we know now, that decades earlier, William Afton was trapped inside of this thing. And thus, the real fun begins.
How's he still alive? Is he, like, possessing it now, I guess?
The past games, there's no multiple animatronics hunting you down. There's only going to be one, and unlike before, this animatronic isn't possessed by a child seeking revenge. This one is controlled by a literal serial killer, and he's really intelligent. He hides in the shadows, moves when you're
but he looks like a zombie now. He can't be that intelligent.
Not looking, and hunts you down like prey. Your only defense is sound cues and a failing security system. However, this whole ordeal doesn't last long.
I don't like this. So this is why I can never play these type of games, especially whatever number this is. Because, like, there's one that didn't look too scary, and I think I played a round or two with my friends back in the day, which is, I think, 2. They kind of look like, I think what were they? But they didn't look too scary. They weren't the ones where they're like the furry, old-looking ones. They looked like new plastic ones. I kind of could rock with that. I might be able to play that one, as long as it's like the plastic ones hunting me. Because, like, these things, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Why are you looking at me like that? Why do you look like that?
5 nights, the nightmare ends. The entire attraction burns to the ground, and with it, Springtrap is seemingly destroyed. But was it an accident, or was it intentional? As of right now, we still don't know. But in a secret minigame, the spirits of the murdered children finally find peace. Freed from their torment, they decide to finally move on. But what about Afton? The building burned, but Afton, he still survived. His nightmare was...
Of course he did. You know why? Because this man's Orochimaru. He's living on demon time. He literally murdered so many people, and he's like, you thought? Nah.
It's far from over. And speaking of nightmares, remember Ennard? Well, somehow Circus...
And I hate to say it, and like, I'm not putting beef at your favorite game if it's your favorite game. That's the worst conclusion, when a bad guy wins. It's like, all these kids, they were murdered by him, but they got their revenge. And you're like, oh, good job. And then it's like, just kidding. He did not get his revenge. He's actually somehow alive in this old suit, and now he's gonna go hunt some other place that's a horror house that literally decided to pick up a rotten corpse for some reason, and we don't know why. But it is fine, because it burns down, and all of them are set free, and obviously the real villain probably is dead, right? Yeah, that's great ending. Kids are set free. Real villain ends. Just kidding. This is a story where there's no consequences. And this man just moves on and haunts everything for life. Okay, seems legit, guy.
Baby was able to eject herself from his body. And as she pieces herself back together, she forms Scrap Baby. You know that molten creature that you see in FNAF Security Breach? Well, that was actually Ennard. But now he's Molten Freddy. Boy, this is getting confusing. But we need to go back to one more character. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of the story, but William's business partner Henry has a big part in FNAF 6. You see, it's actually Henry who's going to make all of this right. He opens up a new location under the Freddy Fazbear name, and you start the game thinking you're...
Only took him 35 years, 40 years, or however long. But let's see if Henry can kill this man. I hope so, because this man's living on a Orochimaru timeline.
Running a normal pizza restaurant. You design your own pizzas, buy arcade machines, and most importantly, salvage old animatronics.
That game doesn't actually look too scary. I actually might be able to play that one. Because, well, I don't know about this. I don't know what's going on here. But that game didn't look too scary.
Outside. But here's the twist. This isn't a real pizzeria. It's a trap. You're not here to serve pizza, you're here to lure something inside. And you see, after years of tragedy, Henry finally saw the truth. Freddy's was a curse, a place haunted by the souls of innocent children. And so he made a plan. He built this pizzeria as a trap, a place where all the lingering souls, baby.
One question, if there's so much bad publicity behind it, how are you gonna even get people here?
The puppet, Olton Freddy, and William Afton could be lured in and destroyed once and for all. And ironically, he actually ended up hiring Michael Afton as the security guard. But sadly for him,
oh yeah, Zombie Man. Get Zombie Man in there. Hello. You're Michael Afton, right? Yeah, totally. Then why do you look like that? You don't even have no innards. I'm so sorry. I'm having really so much fun, dude. With
once
that.
everybody was inside, he set the building on fire. No more games, no more horror stories, only fire. And Freddy Fazbear's
Did he get his innards back?
pizzeria burned one final time, and Henry accepted his fate, going down with the building. And at the time, this provided all FNAF fans with some closure. The souls of the animatronics were finally freed, and Henry was able to make right what he did so wrong in the past. And William Afton was finally out of the picture, or was he?
Of course he wasn't. I didn't even expect it at that point. It's like, yep, a good conclusion. The rest of the things, they were set free. Everyone's set free. And Michael Afton, he's gone. Really? Really? Great ending to a story. Great conclusion. It's the last episode of Naruto. He gets married to Hinata. He becomes Hokage. All that jazz. Great job. Great job. Just kidding. There's Boruto.
He always comes back. Fast forward to FNAF Help Wanted, this is where things get crazy, as you're welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Virtual Experience, the latest and greatest cutting-edge way to relive all the terrifying stories of Fazbear Entertainment's history. Now this is just supposed to be a game, but
average American thing to make make games out of real tragedy.
Things feel a little
I can't even say that word, tragedy. So I have problems with words like that, so if I ever say one, don't point it out, because I know, okay?
At first, he's just a flicker, a glitch, but the longer you play, the closer he gets, until finally, it isn't just a bug anymore. This thing is
He looks so friendly there. I know it might be him, and I know he's a psychopath and stuff, but he looks so friendly. He was waving at me. Of course I'm a wave back.
Thing is a glitch trap, a digital ghost
Oh, hey,
in
buddy.
the fragment of William Afton, the man who...
Oh, wait. Oh, he did upload. That's crazy work. Because I said, you know, you could upload, you should work on that instead of working on demon reliving. Because I do believe that we will be able to at least one day upload our consciousness to a computer. That's like something I'm really into and stuff, like just thinking about how that would work. However, he kind of did that through the demons, and I think that was pretty funny that I was like, why couldn't you just work on that if you're going to live forever? But I guess he took a shortcut, guys.
Refused to die. He literally uploaded himself as binary code into this game, and if you're not careful, he'll end up inside of you. Pause. However, that's how he ends up inside.
Huh. He's like these new villains for real. Have you noticed how so much anime these days, everyone wants to just possess bodies? Like, miss me with that. I like the real demons like Aizen and Madara that really just be on smoke. All the new ones just want to possess bodies.
Vanessa, who eventually becomes Vanny. The whole game he was plotting this. Now we need to fast forward even farther. Just bear with me, guys, because Scott no longer is running these games. It actually got taken over by the company Steel Wool, so there might be some plot holes. However, sometime after Help Wanted, FNAF...
Okay, I could probably play this one. She looks quite friendly. Hello. Hi. You know, you got those teeth there, but they don't look as terrifying as the face opening, and you don't look like your face could open, so that's all that matters.
Pizzaplex was created, and it sported some of the most amazing looking animatronics.
Oh, look at this guy. The swag, the style. I like that.
Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, Roxanne Wolf, and of course Montgomery Gator. You know what's the crazy thing? These animatronics are also somehow possessed by Afton, except for Glamrock Freddy, as he malfunctions right when the game begins. On one particular night, a young boy named Gregory finds himself trapped inside after hours, with security systems only ally down the Glamrock Freddy. He's the only animatronic who's not hostile towards him. As you realize throughout the game that Roxanne Wolf, Montgomery Gator, Glamrock Chica have all been hacked or corrupted, relentlessly hunting.
So this man waited for it. I don't even know how they made it so big, because look at the scale of this jazz, and they had a little commercial and everything. But I'm just saying, how did they get it so popular after all that crazy stuff happening? Because I'm sure even if like there were no confirmed, because I know it was like there was no confirmed, there's just big speculation, like you said earlier in the video. But that should just be enough to kill the franchise. But let's just say it didn't. My biggest problem is that this man has been staying alive, and his goal was to live forever, and it sounds like he got that. He could probably just transfer over to any computer now, because he could obviously corrupt things. So why are you still obsessed with a children's place, my guy?
Him. And even worse, Vanny is back. But that's not even the craziest part. Deep underground in a forgotten section of the Pizzaplex, Afton is still alive in a new form, and he's called Burn Trap. Basically just a charred, decayed version of the Springtrap bodysuit that we saw before FNAF 6. And
wait,
what a shock.
so he's not Code? He is in that body? That's weird. I thought he was just Code now.
Despite being burned alive multiple times, he refuses to die, and he lurks in the depths waiting for the right moment to take control once more. His influence seems to be tied to Vanny, who, as we know, is manipulated into carrying out his sinister plans. And there's actually multiple endings to this game, but the one that we decided was canon is this one. When we finally find William Afton at the bottom of the pizzeria, along with this horrific creation called the Blob, which is just a mix of all the animatronics up to this point. After you...
So this crazy creature was like, yo, I like the cut of your jib, friend. Let's be friends. You know, you be living on some demon time. I am a demon. You, I think, are too now. So let's just be demon buddies, I guess.
Fight between our protagonist and Burn Trap, we're able to burn the entire building down, which I don't know why.
Oh, never mind. They were fighting. I take that back. They just looked like they were planning stuff together.
Because it never works. There's Glamrock Freddy and...
Who stands side by side with your op like that?
Gregory try to escape, the Blob snatches up William Afton once again. But if you ask me, I don't think this is the canon ending. My opinion, the canon ending is actually the Princess Quest ending. Vanny is finally freed from William Afton's control, and we take Glamrock Freddy's head with us. That's why we see a headless version of him in FNAF.
No, that's not the ending, my guy. That's just not the ending, and I'll tell you why it's not. Because the Five Nights at Freddy's, the creators, they don't want the heroes to win. They don't want them to be safe. They want the worst ending, from what I can tell from this video. They don't care. They just want William Afton to always win. It was me, Barry type of thing. It was me, Barry.
Security Breach Ruin. And speaking of which, this is actually the DLC for FNAF Security Breach, where we play as a young girl named Cassie, who's searching for her missing best friend, Gregory. Yep, the same one from the first game. She gets lured to this place after receiving a message from Gregory over her communicator, begging her to come find him. Finds a Vanny mask in order to explore this place a little deeper, and uncovering new horrors along the way, including
Why are you
all
putting
the
that
animatronics that Gregory left
That just doesn't seem safe, and that would hurt. That's all metal.
behind. As she descends deeper into the quote-unquote ruins, she discovers the truth behind the Pizzaplex's collapse. There's now an AI security system known as the MXES. Seems to be preventing her from doing something much worse.
AI. You can't fight it and you can't beat it. And it's probably somehow tied to William Afton.
But she doesn't know that until the end. Eventually, Cassie finds Gregory's location, or so she thinks. And in order to get to it, she has to shut down this MXES. But right after this thing shuts down, she realized she's been tricked, as Gregory's voice was fake the whole time. She was actually lured in by a manipulating system known as the Mimic, which she eventually sets free now that the MXES is out.
Okay, so this thing, is this also Afton? Is he manipulating this or something?
The picture. This was the thing's plan the whole time. Come to find out, this thing actually might be more horrific than William Afton ever could be, thus revealing the new horrifying plot twist, and that's the Mimic. We get a better idea of the whole
So, what's William Afton doing? Is he just done? Is he retired? Did he go to Florida? Did he enter Google? Who knows? This man could be committing atrocities side hand. But now we're focused on the Mimic, this thing that I'm assuming mimics things, like voices and stuff?
Security breach plot when we play Help Wanted 2, which many people believe that you play as Cassie's dad throughout the entirety of the game. It also gives you a cool backstory of exactly how everything happened. There's a crazy ending that seems to tie everything together, where the same recharge station that Glamrock Freddy gets into in FNAF Security Breach pops up and a hand emerges from it. Presumably, you would think this is Cassie's hand. Where security bots seem to take you out of that vision, but when you awaken, you see a POV of you as the Help bot handing Cassie the Vanny mask, which is an interesting tie by Steel Wool. I don't think it's any coincidence.
I'm not even gonna lie. I've been lost for this last part for a while, dude. Like, I kind of followed the first parts, but this part, it's just making no sense to me.
To prove that this is
We got a new villain that for some reason is worse than a psychopath, but it also just seemed like a regular robot to me, but I don't know about anything like that. But now we got her involved, and for some reason Gregory went back to the one place and was like, "Hey, yo, my bestie," because it seemed like they got out in one of the endings, that's for sure. But he called out to her, right? And he was like, "Yo, my bestie, come back." And she's like, "Okay, cool." And then now I don't even know what's going on. Not even gonna lie.
His father. There's multiple references in the game where they talk about him having children. But let's talk about the Mimic for a second. Seeing as the
Wait,
new
who
game
having
is
children?
going to literally be the secrets of the
I didn't
Mimic.
even hear
the Mimic
that.
is a horrible creature created
Okay.
handed Cassie the Vanny mask, which is an interesting tie by Steel Wool. I don't think it's any coincidence to prove that this is Cassie's father. There's multiple references in the game where they talk about him having children. But let's talk about the Mimic for a second. Seeing as the new game is going to literally be the secrets of the security breach plot when we play Help Wanted 2, which many people believe that you play as Cassie's dad throughout the entirety of the game. It also gives you
That was a robot hand, and first off, if you play as her dad, and I'm assuming it says your body gets taken over at the end of the game, right? Something like that. And you're just Afton, no? Because he's the digital world. He took over you. Now he's over in Google, and now you're fighting something called a mimic, but I don't know.
cool backstory
I'm so
of
lost.
exactly how everything happened. There's a crazy ending that seems to tie everything together, where the same recharge station that Glamrock Freddy gets into in
I saw
FNAF.
this
I
part.
don't think it's any coincidence to prove that this is Cassie's father. There's multiple references in the game where they talk about him having children. But let's talk about the Mimic for a second. Seeing as the new game is going to literally be the secrets of the Mimic. The Mimic is a horrible creature created by Edwin Murray.
Okay, I do know this game already came out, so I think this video's a little old. But I think I got the gist of this showdown. Psychopath. Psychopath does some crazy things to live forever. He murders his best friend's daughter for some reason, and nobody really knows why, but seems legit guy. And also, 2 of his kids die because one of his kid is just a crazy person, just like him. And yeah, that's all I've got from this video.
This creature in order to look after his son, since he was so busy.
Oh, and the villain always wins, so I'm expecting that the rest of this minute is
it was
just
able to adapt and learn from its surroundings. But we all know things go terribly wrong, and eventually the Mimic kills everybody in sight, and somehow
I'd expect that from this franchise, that's for sure.
ended up at the bottom of the Pizzaplex until Cassie released it, which not really her fault. She was just trying to save her best friend after all. But on the way up from the elevator, the Mimic crashes it down, and now he's out in the free world. And he, in my opinion, is so much worse than William Afton. Even though William can't die, this guy is out for havoc, and he's more...
I disagree. This man might kill more people in the regular world, but William Afton is internet. This dude could go to Google. He could go to Safari. He could literally take over the world. This man could be AI.
intelligent than anyone else around him. So I'm glad that Steel Wool actually came out with a backstory for this exact character, which is going to turn this franchise into a whole mess, but in reality, it might actually save it, as the Mimic is one of the most...
I disagree. I'm not even gonna lie. I really didn't like that last part. Maybe because it just didn't follow anything. As we know, William Afton always wins, and now he's Google, and now there's just creating a new villain because they're like, oh, this dude's been winning. This psychopath we created, all he does is win. Why? Nobody knows, but it just happens. So yeah, let's just if you enjoy more content like this, if there's a certain franchise you want me to see, a video like this you want me to see, say my thoughts about. I didn't really see how this was a crazy story other than it was just psychopath killing people living forever. So I don't really know the obsession with the lore. Maybe there's better videos I could watch out there. I just saw this one and was like, hey, I'd check it out. New movie coming out. Whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate that. The original video will be in the link down below. I'll see you next time. Have a nice one.